So we're back. The alpha male, his Betamax A through Z. We're starting out with a barn burner. Prime Risk. You ever hear of it? Me neither. But there you go. Prime Risk. Whoops a daisy. Some desks needs to be cleaned up. It's a house of cards, folks. Let's find out what's going on with this. Samuel Bottoms, Keenan Wayne, Caligula Gruger, Lee Montgomery, Tony Hudson. No names I've ever heard of. Tony Hudson, Places in the Heart. Lee Montgomery, Mutant. Samuel Bottoms, Apocalypse Now, star in the thrilling War Games-like adventure. Oh, so it's a War Games ripoff. Julie Collins is a beautiful young engineer who accidentally discovers an electric method for breaking into automated teller machines. All right. Together, Julie and her boyfriend Michael plot the perfect get-rich scheme, but their amateur plan to make money is thwarted. They stumble onto an even larger conspiracy, one that involves foreign agents. That's exciting, huh? Tapping into the United States Federal Reserve System. The chase is on when the foreign agents discover that Julie and Michael know too much and must be eliminated. War is not a game, it's a real gamble when you take the prime risk. You know what? This got my attention. It sounds great. I thought this thing was a goof, but apparently not. Choking on this tape. So excited at this tape. Lightning video. It's sort of a lower end. So this must, maybe this wasn't a low budget. Clearly a rental, right? Oh yeah, there you go. Is this that guy in Goldsville or whatever? Let's see. Yep, Goldsboro and Lillington. Same guy. I've seen a lot of that guy. Let's see. Is that still in the frame there? The problem is there's just not enough room over here. See if that fixes it. Well, it fixed it in a way. You can bully this stuff, but then it gets like a house of cards. Passage to India. Here's another India. India must have been real popular. Must have been Gandhi's influence, right? Everybody was all excited about India. Alec Guinness, Obi-Wan Kenobi himself. And Alec, if you don't like that, I'm sorry. That's what I think of. This breathtaking film, based on E.M. Foster's classic novel, is an emotional and deeply personal story of love and class struggle in 1928 India. Adela Quested, whatever, travels to India to visit her fiancé, who is the city magistrate of, oh boy, Chandrapur. She is accompanied on the adventure by his mother, Mrs. Moore. Okay. Dame Peggy Ashcroft, who received the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. How do you like that? There's something going on here. An elderly woman who is appalled at the treatment of the Indians by the British who rule and occupy Chandaropa. Both women befriend a young Indian man, Dr. Aziz, who, overstepping his accepted boundaries between the classes, invites the women on the picnic excursion to the Makbar caves. In a strange turn of events, the young doctor is accused of attempting to rape Mrs. Quested. What actually did happen in the Mobar caves is the central riddle of this lush, engrossing film. Boy, that sure don't sound like a nice day at the movies, does it? How does this thing open? Oh, it's got a side view here. Ah, Casa Chiro. There you go. What if that was a video store? Casa del Rojo. Radio Shack again. Must not be. This guy probably picked up tapes wherever he could. Whatever, right? Very eclectic taste, by the way, this guy has. Pillow Talk. Now, I've heard of this movie. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-meter cattle prod, but Rock Hudson, Doris Day. Que sera, sera. I just couldn't even imagine watching this. The uninhibited story of a carefree bachelor and a carefree career girl, and the hilarious things that, see right there, I guarantee you, this is not hilarious, but whatever. Share the party line over which they develop an intense dislike for one another. So it's a I hate you, and then at the end, I love you. Whatever. Pillow talk. Be kind, rewind. A little flair put on there, MCA. Yeah, this is not in my wheelhouse. Perfect Strangers. Ah, great sitcom. Balky and the other guy, right? Uh-oh, it doesn't look like it. One day Matthew saw something he'll never forget. A murder. Sounds good. Rear window. After stalking his target throughout New York, mafia hitman Brad Rongen knives his victim to death in a Soho alley. Great. When the murderer looks past the corpse, he sees 2-year-old Matthew Stockley, looking on from behind a high chain fence. The child has witnessed the entire murder. The 2-year-old? Who gives a shit? That can't be your story. The 2-year-old? A contemporary thriller done in the Hitchcockian tradition. Perfect Strangers follow the killer's attempt to kidnap Matthew before he can tell what he has seen. Anne Carlisle, whose stunning performance in Liquid Sky, whatever that is, brought her wide acclaim, stars as Matthew's mother, who falls in love with Rygen. The climax is unexpected and unforgettable. Well, that guy, I mean, despite the fact of being a hitman, what? 2-year-old can't explain what they saw. They'd probably just freak out. Universal Video 12. That must be the name of it. The video store. Don't remove the sticker. 2-year-old. Hey, Hitman, don't waste your time. It's not worth your time. Ah, Pritzi's Honor. I remember this was a big deal. Kathleen Turner, Jack Nicholson, 2 hitmen. We're getting a theme here for this episode. They sort of date, fall in love, sort of, and they're also hitmen. You know, I saw this a couple years ago. I was disappointed. You know, it was pretty interesting throughout the movie, and then sort of at the end it just lays an egg. But whatever. I mean, listen, I've seen way worse. Maybe worth your time. I'm a hitman too. How was it working with Michael Douglas? The party animal. Now, what do you think they're copying here, right? This is almost the exact one sheet of Bachelor Party. So let's see if they do a better job. Now, that writing is incredibly small. Matthew Casey, Robin Harlan, Tim something or other. Music by the Buzzcocks with Untouchable. Whatever. I bet that's not the point of this movie. The raunchiest film of the decade. Okay, so watch out. Here comes the hijinks and hilarious sexual pranks of Animal House and Porky. Yeah, come on. This is so derivative even at the time. And they're just like, ooh, boy, and it was made on the cheap too. Look, but it does have the double reel. Be Kind Rewind. Poor quality tape. Not very much tape, so that means this was created in SLP. So these are real cheap bastards. Label. They were worried somebody was going to take off the party animal label. Don't worry, champ. And by the way, this looks well worn. People were all too happy to rent the party animal. And listen, I might watch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will before Pillow Talk. Well, controversial. It's a musical. I watched this, but it wasn't too bad. I watched it not that long ago. A friend of mine just insisted. And I was like, you know what? That ain't so bad. Nothing like what people say. People really lambasted this film. Now, was it, the Popeye cartoons at this time were in syndication, and everybody knew Popeye, and they didn't translate it that well to Popeye, and then all the musical numbers and stuff like that. But you know what? It wasn't bad. Give them a break. They did a pretty good job. The legendary, beloved, anvil-armed sailor of the seven seas. I mean, you know Popeye, right? The story I heard was they ran out of money towards the end, and they needed a big climax, and they were out of money, so they had a rubber octopus, and they sort of just squished it around. But I mean, a movie this silly, what's the difference? Look at this thing. It's pristine condition. This must be a later pressing, because this is the glue problem fixed, but it's a 1980 movie. So maybe Popeye, because I know it's stiffed at the box office, and I don't think this was ever a rental. It doesn't look like it. Maybe they printed it later. So, well, maybe we can get some money back, right? Out of Bounds, I know I've mentioned this film before. It must have been on a live show. Out of Bounds, this is where Anthony Michael Hall, who was on Saturday Night Live at the time, was going to break out of the cutesy poo John Hughes movies and become a badass. Well, this movie, I don't remember it doing very well. He was not the badass. Out of Bounds. But you know what? I haven't seen this in a while. I want to see it. I would watch this. I just have vague memories of it. And I remember a bit on Saturday Night Live where they, he obviously couldn't be there, so he made a video of him on the set. You get to see them filming this. I'm like, wow, Anthony Michael Hall. I do remember him running around in like these cowboy boots in this movie. And I was like, even how old I was, I couldn't have been 14, 15, somewhere around there. I knew those boots were jive. On the waterfront. I could have been a contender. Often quoted. Marlon Brando. Won a bunch of Academy Awards. I still don't want to watch it. Sorry. Not my bag. I remember, X-Fighter. I think he took a dive. And then he regretted it. That's what I think happened, but I don't know. And I'll never know. Maybe somebody can write in the comments when they watch it, if they do. And look at this thing is minty. Which tells me somebody bought this and just didn't even watch it. Even they didn't want to watch it. Oh, wait a minute. We got a sticker on here. What's that say? Does this say video rental? Video rental, son of a... How do you like that? Pretty good condition, though. I don't think they had many takers. Is that somethingville? What does that say? Yeah. Oh, this is the other one. North Carolina. Federville, or whatever that says. North Carolina. And the last one for today is Out of Africa. Never saw this. Meryl Streep, Robert Redford, based on a true story. I mean, one of these days I'm going to have to sit down and watch this, right? The most acclaimed motion picture of 1985. What's it about, though? 1914, to her astonishment, she soon discovers herself falling in love with the land, its people, and its mysterious white hunter, Robert Redford. Oh, God. Sounds like the bridges of Madison County. I mean, look, this one's so bad that I didn't even rewind it. But I shouldn't say it's bad. I haven't seen it, so who am I to say it's bad? It just sounds bad. And what does that say? Goldsboro and Lillington. And one of these days, I'm going to have to find out where those places are. Say, hey, I found your Out of Africa tape. Do you want it back? No? Okay, bye. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for watching. And the show will go on at some point.